Hey, welcome to my GM's guide for how to get GM. I am a GM. I've been a GM every single season since season 0. Season 3, I actually got it playing healers instead of tanks, but we're going to mostly be talking about tanks because that's the thing I'm most familiar with and comfortable with, and I've since swapped back to playing tanks. So, how do you win a game as a tank, right? How do you actually win the game, right? Because it's like all these smaller interactions you do, you learn what to do, you learn to protect your team, you learn to play your character, you win all these fights, you completely diff their tanks, but you still lose sometimes, right? So what is the difference? What is the difference between winning a fight and losing a fight? And how do you make sure that you're always edging towards the winning the fight situation, right? So in this instance, you see me literally walking into a team. There's 5 of them there. There's 5 of them there, and I'm just running it down mid, but they're all falling over. How did I do that? Now, you might be like, well, your team is better. You're just killing them all. They're not shooting you. You're shooting them. Your healers are better. They're not getting healed. All that shit, right? Here's the thing, though. If you watch closely, you'll see that I'm not just running it down mid. I'm actually waiting for advantageous opportunities. In the beginning, we were getting help for a little bit. They even pushed us back. They killed like 2 guys. And then randomly in the middle of that, I just ran it down mid and killed everyone. How did that happen? You watch closely. What I'm doing is I'm keeping an eye on what buttons they have and haven't pressed yet, and I'm reacting to it. So what we're about to see in just a second is we're about to see me fight their Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic is right here. He used his grab, I believe. He goes big, shooting him. I'm not doing anything. Runs out, chase him down, chase him down. He's small. I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at the other tank. He's small again? Chase him down, chase him down, chase him down. Get the kill. Here's this Emma. Emma has a bunch of buttons. Shooting her, shooting her, shooting her. She puts her shield down. Not doing anything. She goes diamond. I back away. I'm running. She has the advantage on me right now. Diamond runs out. What do? I pop my diamond. I start running forward. She doesn't have anything. She used her shield and her diamond. She doesn't have anything. I force out an ult. I literally force out an ult with my left mouse button. And what happens now? Well, they're diving us because they have to, because they don't want to waste their ult. So they're running at us. Meanwhile, we have better buttons than them. As soon as they push all their buttons, I go back to my team. I protect them. As soon as they run out of buttons, I turn it around and start pushing them back. And what happens? They all fall over because they already pushed all their buttons. They already pushed all their buttons. It's literally that easy. When they push their buttons, you wait. When they pushed all their buttons, you run in. It's that easy. So how do you make them push their buttons? That's a really good question. That's usually a job for the DPS. If you don't have good DPS, then there's a few ways that you can circumvent that. First way you can circumvent that is by playing Emma and just being a DPS in yourself. The other way you can do that is you can pocket your DPS. So what that means is if you're playing Mag, you can make it an advantageous situation for your teammates. So you have to be very careful with this, because if you push your buttons in order to make an advantageous situation for your teammates, and then the enemy team rushes you down, you're on the losing side. And if you're on the losing side, then you have to run away, otherwise you die, and if you die, you lose the game. So you have to somehow pocket them and keep them alive for long enough, right? So how do you do that? So essentially all you have to do is use as few buttons as possible to give them an advantageous situation. You have to figure out what targets they're on and shoot with them. You have to figure out who is stopping them from dying. So if your Hela is shooting someone, say the Hela lands 2 headshots, gets a kill, right? That's beautiful. Not every time they shoot someone twice in the head, they're going to die. It does like 100 something damage, like 150 damage or something, right? Shoot them in the head, 150 health left. Shoot them again. Why do they have 50 health? It's because they got healed. So what do? You block off the heals with your shield, or you shoot at the healer, or you shoot at someone else, and the healer looks at that guy, and then your Hela gets the kill, right? It's that easy. You just pocket them. You make it easy for them. You make your team's life easy so the other team is struggling, your team isn't. Who's going to win that fight? Pretty obvious. Same thing goes for your healers. You want to make it as easy as possible for your healers. You want to stand in areas where it's harder for the enemy team to hit you, but it's easy for your team to hit them. And it's easy for your healer to heal you without getting hit. So that means taking corners kind of like girthy, so that way your healers can hit you, and you can also be in the way of the enemy team trying to hit your DPS, but also be on that corner so that way you can duck behind it so you don't die, right? You want to use the natural cover of the maps, the indestructible walls. You can press B to see what walls are destructible or indestructible. I can't remember what button it is on the controller, but I think it's one of the D-pad buttons. And you can see what is and isn't destructible that way. And you want to use cover in order to keep yourself alive for as long as possible. Speaking of which, it's actually important to know when you're supposed to die. So if you're playing the shield tank, you want to be the 5th person on your team to die. So what does that mean? It means if you're losing the fight and you know you're losing the fight and there's no way you can win, you want to be the 5th one to die. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is your team could always come back and you could try to win that fight, or you could, or say if someone on your team dies, maybe 1 or 2, you might get a pick off randomly. That Hela might land her shots for once in her fucking career, get a kill, and then it's a 4v4, or sorry, a 4v5, and you can win a 4v5, maybe. It's hard, but you could win it. But you also don't want to be the last one to die. And the reason is because tanks are the slowest characters in the game. They usually don't have good dashes, and if they do, they're dive tanks. So you don't want to be the last one to die if you're a shield tank, because your team's going to want to go back to the cart, they're going to want to go back to the objective, they want to go back to the war zone and get back into the fight. They're going to want to go in and shoot stuff and kill stuff and win the game. So you have to be there with them. If you're the last one to respawn, they have to wait for your soggy, slow ass to respawn 10 seconds from now. 10 seconds from now, you're going to respawn and then walk your slow ass all the way across the map with no dashes, no speed boosts unless they come back for you. And they're going to sit there looking like idiots on the battlefield, waiting for you. You can't let that happen. You have to respawn with your team, and that means not being the last one to die. Genuinely, if your team is melting around you and you're the tank, run to the objective, run to the cart, let them kill you. And if they're not killing you fast enough, start pumping damage into their healers. They will kill you faster than you think. They will figure it out. They'll figure out how to stop you from doing that. And you don't want to be the 4th one. You don't want to be the 3rd one. You could still win those fights, theoretically. But if it's just you and another guy, die. That's it. Just go die. Now, once you've won a team fight, now that we know how to win a team fight and how to react when you lose a team fight, right? What do you do when you've already won a team fight, right? All right, my shit broke there for a second, but we're back into the replay. Okay, so what do you do after you've already won the team fight, right? So you've won the team fight, your team is sitting around on cart, they're sitting around on point, doing nothing, hands in their pockets, right? What do you do? All right, so this goes for every role, especially healers, right? You need to press the advantage. And pressing the advantage means that you hit the W key. Press W, right? You're winning. Go to their spawn. I'm not kidding. Go all the way to their fucking spawn room. Why is that? If you have killed the enemy, especially their tank, within the last 10 seconds, they have not spawned yet. You can run all the way down to their spawn room, shoot their healers. There's not going to be someone there to protect them. They're going to be down someone. Run all the way down to their spawn room. Hela, 2 shots. Magneto, 3 shots. Punisher, under a second. You can run all the way down to their spawn room, shoot their healer. You get a kill. You win the next fight, 5v6. If you don't get a kill, make them pop a cooldown. Maybe you have a dive character in your team. They can kill them after they run out of their cooldowns. It's really that fucking easy. It's really that fucking easy. The last thing is, what do you do when your team is absolute fucking dog ass, right? Absolute fucking dog ass. We were talking before, you know, you pocket them, you give them a little extra time, you give them a little extra space, you distract the healers, you distract the tank, you know, you do all this shit for them. And at the end of the goddamn day, that Hela cannot land the fucking shots. Like, she just shouldn't be playing Hela. She shouldn't be fucking Diamond. How are you supposed to get the GM if you're stuck in Diamond because your team is just fucking bad, dude? Losers queue type shit. Fucking government agents throwing your lobbies. Like, what do you do about that? You give them even more time. You give them even more opportunities. Hela kills in 2 hits. She's not the only character in the game that can do damage. If you get them half health constantly, constantly doing damage, constantly applying pressure, constantly giving the Hela space. She lands 1 in 30 shots. Fucking guess what? Every 30 shots, someone dies. You just have to live long enough to see it. It does not matter how bad your teammates are. It doesn't matter how many of them are bad. You can still win that game if you last longer than the other team. You can still win the game. You just have to live longer, die less. The most important stat is how many deaths you have. It should be as low as humanly possible. The only caveat to that, and there's one, the only caveat to that is you also can't go negative, and you also still have to win the game somehow. If you're not shooting them, you can't win the game. You have to kill them and win the game. You have to get them off the objective. You have to kill them. You have to, like, team wipe them. You have to kill them. So you have to put yourself in danger to do that. So you can't sit in the spawn and win the game. The only caveat, get as few deaths as possible, but you still have to kill them. You still have to do it. You have to shoot at them. Remember what I said. The Hela can't land 2 shots in a row. Can't do it. Lands 1 in 30. Can't do it. You have to constantly have them at half health. If you're that Hela, you have to live. You have to. You have to live. Okay? Remember, I said this is mainly about tanks. We're going to talk about DPS now. If you are the fucking 20% accuracy Hela that lands 1 in 30 shots, live. Do not fucking feed. Do not fucking die. Hide behind your tanks. Hide behind walls. Live. Because you will land that 30th shot and win the game for everybody. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you can get to GM. I know I will.